So we're really excited. I can't see all of you at the moment. We're really excited. We're going to get our guest on, Adir Abergel, and we're so excited to have him. So we're going to let everybody get on here for just a second. Wow. Hi, you guys. So where's everybody coming in from? Tell me hello, hello, hello. Here's our team. Here's Quinn and Maddie. Hi. And how are you guys? You guys good? Hello, that's Steph on our editorial team. So they've helped me put together a whole bunch of looks. I hope you guys are all well, getting excited for our big show coming up, the BTC show in San Antonio. And also we know that we have our One Shot Awards coming up. So we're going to be naming all of our categories next week. So we are super, super excited about that. And I know that you guys are as well. So we're really excited today because this is the first time that we've actually ever done this before, where we're splitting our screen and we're going to go live with probably, without a doubt, one of the most iconic hairdressers to ever do red carpet ever in history. And we just thought that because of everything going on with red carpet during the season, that it would be great to get him on and start talking about it. Like if we think about, you know, the Golden Globes and the Critics' Choice Awards, obviously there was also this big issue about, you know, Time's Up in terms of having to wear black as well. So that was a really interesting, you know, situation that happened kind of at the last minute as well. So we want to know everything that Adir has to share with us, all about red carpet and how he chooses the looks, and also how he decides who he's going to do during that season, during the season. So I'm going to go ahead and let you, Quinn, bring him on. Go ahead. And we're going to go ahead and bring Adir. And we've got a whole bunch of looks for you guys to be able to see. What are we doing? Go ahead.
We're waiting on Virtue.
Oh, we're waiting for Virtue to come on. So what we're going to show you guys today is we think red carpet is really interesting, and I think that the most interesting thing about red carpet right now is the fact that social media has, I think in so many ways, such an impact. We know that it can make you or break you in some cases, and I know that Adir feels really strongly about the fact that, feels really, really strongly about the fact that celebrities and hairdressers should actually take risks in the red carpet work that they're doing. So this season, during the red carpet, in fact, actually before I even get started, I'm going to let you know who Adir is. And you want to find out? I hear you, Quinn. You want to find out
Perfect.
What we're doing
grab
here?
Them. Yeah.
We got him?
Right now, and we're at it.
We're waiting for them to join. So... And what we're really excited about.
Hey!
There he is. Oh, you're sideways. Hi.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
Am I sideways?
You are sideways.
Oh, you're sideways, actually. Hold on. I can't do it the other way. Hold on. Do you guys have can you put your phone on the other side? Yes.
There. Okay, we're going to do it. You ready?
That's nice. We're
Oh
both
my gosh. Where are you?
Equilibrium is on.
We get to get in bed with Adir.
Yes, you guys.
That's so exciting. I bet you've done many a celebrity in hotel rooms, right?
Yeah, this is probably, I feel the most comfortable in these rooms.
I bet you do. I bet you do. How are you?
I'm good, baby. What about you?
Good, good.
You look gorgeous. I like the detail.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
I would take that and use that on the hair.
Yeah, well, I know, but it would be from behind, right? So you would be able to see it. And I have a little eye infection too, so that's why I stuck a whole bunch of eye makeup on my eyes. But how are you? How is everything?
I'm good, baby. I was sick for a few weeks with that flu that was going around.
How are you feeling better? You're looking better.
Yeah, I feel a lot better. I'm with Virtue Labs right now in St. Petersburg, Florida. We are going on HSN. We had 24-hour in a row going on every few hours.
Oh my God.
And
You're
did
kidding.
amazing. Yeah, it was
You're
great.
kidding. So I want to talk with you, first of all. This is fun. This is the first time we've ever done a split screen, so we're virgins to this too. But I really love being able to do it because we're going to talk today about red carpet, and we're going to show everybody watching a whole bunch of looks on red carpet. So so I want to actually go ahead and get started because I know that that's what they're excited about. I'm going to turn my screen around and I'm going to just start asking you some questions. So how do I turn this around? Quinn, just so
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
Okay, cool. So we're going to take you down. We're going to show you some looks. So first of all, Adir, how long have you been doing red carpet?
I would say I've been doing red carpet for probably around like 18 years. I've been doing hair for 25.
Wow, that's
Um,
amazing.
I assisted for almost 7 years, and that was probably like the most incredible time in my life as well. I love assisting. I wish I could still assist. And I've been doing red carpet on my own for about 18 years.
I know this season, I want to jump over to this season, which is,
Yeah.
where is this at? The PowerPoint that you guys have put together for me. Okay,
These
so
are amazing.
yeah, so
Wow.
we put together the looks for this season. And what I wanted to talk with you a little bit about as we're looking through these looks, I mean, you're definitely known for embellishment, wire, a lot of really interesting looks. I mean, when let's talk about this look, and let's also, what I'd love to do is start talking about, you know, tell me a little bit about when you see the dress, how soon do you see the dress, and also how much impact does that have on how you're, you know, on what you're doing and what you're deciding to do?
Absolutely. Well, I can tell you. So, you know, beginning of the year, the season really started for me like around on the 2nd of January with the Palm Springs Film Festival. And so everything is starting a lot sooner now. So my brain, even though I was on vacation in December, I started to start thinking and imagining and pulling references and doing all of that. So at that point, I knew nothing about the dress that Saoirse was going to be wearing for the Golden Globes. All I knew is that I started to have to imagine on like what I wanted to do. So I knew that I wanted her to bleach out her hair completely. So when she was in New York, I sent her to go and see Marie Robinson so Marie could literally bleach her out. I started pulling a lot of references of like David Bowie and like
Oh, really?
70s stuff because I really was thinking I almost wanted to feel like it's almost like all one thing. So the skin and the hair and the shape and bringing in masculine and feminine, and especially like you said, because everyone wore black, I really wanted the lines to like be crossed between masculine and feminine during that time. So that's how I was pulling a lot of the references.
That's interesting.
So, you know, so if you look at the front of her hair, structurally, it felt very, you know, androgynistic. But then when you go to the back, you saw there was almost like handcrafting. It was almost very feminine artist movement, where it was about taking a needle and a thread and going in and weaving in all of these intricacy. So I really think about my craft as truly an art. I really think about it as sculptural. I think about it as 3D. So I am very different than someone like, let's say, Guido, who ends up thinking about things a lot more in 2D because it's more pictures, it's more editorial. So he can have a structure that feels very strong from the front, and maybe from the back, he didn't do anything to it.
Right.
But for me, I really have to think about what I'm doing 360. And I have to think about it also as collective, as a full group of people putting together a dress, putting together the makeup. I'm very much, people know me in the industry, I am almost like a creative director that way.
Yeah.
Where I love to bring all of the artists together and for us to truly have a conversation about it. So it's never about me and about the hair. There's a lot of humility in not homogenizing women, but making them all feel very individual.
Yeah, and this was the other look that you did, obviously, for for the Golden Globes, Jessica Biel. And tell us a little bit about this look and what you were thinking here.
So yeah, so I was thinking, you know, I wanted to do something that felt really kind of almost classic from the front. So when you're thinking about it, you know, thinking of how do I do something that feels like modern, almost like a bob, but doesn't feel like old school Rita Hayworth, but still has that really great shape to it. So I did a very deep side part and a great trick that I want people at home and, you know, and who are watching us to really think about when you're doing your deep side part. I like to follow the highest arch of the brow, and that's where I like to put my deep side part. Most of the time, that is where the balance works the most on the face. Interesting. You know, God somehow made our brows perfectly so we can kind of create the right geometry for us. So that's where I followed it. And then rather than pulling it into a very tight ponytail, I started the ponytail a lot lower. And the night before, I made my assistant, Xavier, who's actually here. Come say hi, Xavier.
Hi.
This is Xavier, and
Hi.
Xavier lives
How are
in New
you?
York, and I love him very much. I sent him and his mom to Michael's, and they went and bought a bunch of different, just like twine and thread and like a bunch of different stuff for me. And so this was a $1.99 Golden Globe look, by the way.
Wow, you mean from Mikkel's?
What's that?
Not Michael's, but Mikkel's.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's nice, Mikkel's. I've never heard of that, but yeah.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
So now, obviously, you went down for Critics' Choice Awards.
Yes.
So tell us about these looks and how do you make a decision about what look you're going to do based? I mean, do you have any? Is there any choice based on what the actual awards program is? Obviously, we've got the Academy Awards and the Grammys coming up, but tell us about these particular looks and how you make those decisions, one look after another based on the awards.
I mean, I think it's hard. I think you have to put in your time. And what I'm going to tell people in general is like, listen, you are an artist. You have the gift to build confidence. Like, I really want you to take the time to really think about the entire event, the woman that you're actually doing, the dress that she's wearing, where she's going to. All of those things are factors. So with Jessica, like, you know, a lot of the time I don't know what the dress is, and neither does she. So there may be a like 3-dress contender that she's thinking of, and you know, the day of it kind of happens to be the thing. So, you know, so like this event, there were 2 different dresses that were options, and they were very, very, very different. And I would have done very different things for this. So for this event, you know, the dress could have been a little bit more of a rock and roll dress if she was going, like this specific dress could have been an MTV award dress.
Yeah.
I would have pulled the hair into a slick, high ponytail that had a beautiful, like, long ponytail that, like, you know, maybe I wrapped it around some awesome, like, gold thread at the top of her head. It could have gone a very different way. But because this was an award show, and I wanted her to feel soft, and I wanted it to have a little bit more glamour, and I wanted it to feel a little bit sexier, I knew that the hair had to go down.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And the interesting thing that we noticed on this from the front and the back is it's got a wave, but it's not the glam wave. It's not. So tell us about your thoughts on this particularly.
Exactly. Are you talking about Saoirse?
Yeah, do we have the back of this?
Yeah, so for Saoirse, it really was about a bend, but again, bringing real modernity to the front. So it was about like kind of juxtapositioning with both. So it kind of felt a little bit more modern. Now, again, the dress, if I would have done an updo on it, would have gone a lot more matronly.
Yeah.
And so I needed to keep it really beautiful and shiny. And, you know, and thank God I work with a brand, Virtue Labs, that I love. I love being the creative director for this brand. I know that you love the product so much.
Oh,
and so it really...
We fight over it, honestly. I think it's being hidden and we're all fighting over it.
I know.
I think the thing that's interesting about the product too, I mean, our whole team does here. So we don't usually like endorse products, but we sort of can't help endorsing that one because you almost feel it from you do actually feel it from the very first wash.
Yeah.
And I know when you talk about keratin, because there's such an interesting story behind it with soldiers and the way that the keratin, the same type of keratin is being used to help them with burns and so forth. You want to just take a second and show us that? Because I also then, after that, I want to start talking about some of these embellishments. But let's talk about Virtue for just a second.
Yeah, please. I mean, I'm so excited. So I became a creative director for the brand about a year ago, and I have been blessed enough to be reconnected to Melissa Shaban, who is a giant, giant, giant in the beauty industry. And you guys may not know her by name, but you definitely know her. She was involved with Aveda for years. You've known her for so many years, right?
Oh, yeah, for 25 years.
Yeah. And so, you know, she is a giant. She really cares about really bringing real innovation to the industry. She and I knew each other back in the Fakai days, where I was an endorser for the brand. And she called me one day and she said, Adir, listen, I came upon an incredible, incredible molecule called alpha keratin 60KU. It literally shifts hair and repairs hair like I've never seen before. Would you try it? And I said, absolutely, anything you're involved with, I would love to try. I tried it. I'm also married to a Harvard scientist who is a genius. And so, of course, I put him on the computer immediately to research everything that, you know, they had found, Dr. Luke Burnett found at, you know, Wake Forest University. And so he did the research. I tried it. I put it on my assistant who had bleached hair. And literally within one use, it was as if she had virgin hair. And I called Melissa and I said, I don't want to only endorse this. I want to be a creative director. I want to be part of this. This is real technology. You know, all of the other brands that have reached out to me over the years, I've said no to, because it's all the same ingredients with just repackaging. And so if I can actually go ahead and be a part of a brand that is literally repairing and healing the hair while giving you the ability to style it in any way that you want, I'm in. I'm game.
Yeah, I mean, it really is an amazing product. I mean, we all love it here at Behind the Chair. And you guys were at our show, obviously, in Austin this last year, and it was a giant hit there as well. That was really incredible.
It was incredible. I have to say, too, by the way, Mary, you're so incredible. And the people that you bring, no, and I'm not just saying this, it's really humbling to see how you're bringing the community of hairdressers together. We are such powerful beings together when we're united, because at the end of the day, we are almost, I don't know, and I know this may sound ridiculous, but I find that we are a bright light in the world of giving confidence. We are people who make people feel good, which in turn makes them feel good. And when you build that kind of confidence, I know it's just hair, but hair is power. Hair makes people feel powerful. It gives you your ability to be your individual self. And so thank you for bringing me together. I'm so glad that we connected. I'm so glad that we were part of Behind the Chair. I'm so glad that I met so many incredible hairdressers, that I'm starting to be part of that community even more so, because I am a freelancer. So I tend to not be always so connected into that world. So now I feel like I have a whole new family.
Well, we hear that all the time about the show. In fact, Chris is going to get mad at me probably, but Chris McMillan sent me a text this morning that he's coming. So I'm going to hold you to it, Chris.
Yes, Chris, you better.
Yeah, Harry Josh is coming.
I've known Chris for 20 years too.
Yeah,
so I love him.
So we're really excited, and I think every time you guys come, I think we hear that all the time, that celebrity hairdressers you guys feel disconnected many times too with your own group of people, of hairdressers. So it's such a beautiful, place to go, and our audience loves you so much. So it's San Antonio this year, August 26th to 28th.
Yes,
so
100%.
Look forward to seeing you down there. So let's jump back again to, but thank you for that. Like that, it's a pretty special event, and we're super proud of it. So
of course,
we really love it. Let's jump back to, you're definitely known for embellishments in the hair, and this is so cute. And now finally, like, we're really seeing that this is becoming such a big thing again. I mean, I guess it goes in waves, right? But we love this look. And I'm just going to show some really quickly, and then maybe we can jump back to them. So this is obviously Emma, and then here she is again, and just some very, very cool looks. Love the way that you've got some, in fact, in this, it's wet. It's got that wet look.
Yes.
Which is so cool. This is an amazing, amazing look. And I know that you love her. She's one of your faves.
Well, she's one of my best friends. I mean, she's an incredible woman. Right now she's playing at, the Australian Open, and she's just won 2 games. So
Yay.
Just send good vibes, peeps. Send good vibes.
This is such an
yeah,
incredible
so
look.
you know what's interesting, Mary, is when you're showing a lot of these images that I used a lot of the twine, they were a little bit older images. And what's interesting is during that time I was working, I had felt like there was nothing out there in the market that felt modern and cool and young and interesting when it came to accessories. And so I would use all of these twines, I would use all of these things because I wanted to create something that felt very individual. And during that time, I decided to start an accessory line collaboration between Adir and Lillette. And so if you go to Lillette.com, Lellet.com, you will see my entire collection, and it's carried at like Net-a-Porter and all of these places. And that's what I used on Emma.
Go back.
If you go back, the one before, yeah, those were all my golden quills that I created. And even if you go to Lillette.com, you could find the entire collection there. It was really beautiful. It was all about metals. It was all about, you know, incorporating this liquid feel to the hair, making it feel more modern, making it feel like any woman could wear it, whether you're 15 or whether you're 50, you know, to be able to kind of incorporate it into the way that you're expressing your styles with your hair.
Yeah, we're just going to show what you're talking about here. So here it is, Lillette, New York, right? And this is
but if you go to their website, you would be able to see there's like specifically Adir X Lillette.
Okay. So we can take a look at that. So let's walk through some of these looks, Adir. So this one, just stunning, and obviously this is beautiful with this one sort of earring coming down, and this. How do you decide to create this look? It's just so pretty. You're right. It feels like it's actually part of her hair. The color of it is just so beautiful. It just adds.
Yeah, and I think what's nice about this is if you look at the dress, I looked at the dress immediately at first. And when you look at the dress from the front, there is negative and positive space. And so immediately I thought about the negative and positive and how do I incorporate that into the hair? And I wanted something that felt a little bit more editorial that way. And so it's almost like I took one piece of hair, I made it almost into this one dread done in gold, and then I separated the sections of gold as the positive and hair as the negative, and then continued that down. And so it kind of played off of the dress as well with that negative and positive.
Yeah, it's very cool. Here we just pulled this up, Adir, this is his?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And so so there were elastics that were basically, I took all of these beautiful old like pearls and I cast them in gold and in rose gold. That's the quill. That's an incredible, just like bobby pin for you to throw into your hair and throw it up into like a sleek do. That beautiful liquid gold chain, I just kind of like threw it in the hair and then braided it into the hair. And if you pull up Vanessa Kirby from the Sags, you would see how I used that liquid gold chain really beautifully.
Yeah, that is cool. That's really gorgeous, this particular one.
So yeah, I was very proud of that collection. A lot of it sold out, and you know, I came back and made more. So yeah, that's how I used that exactly.
That's beautiful. So gorgeous. Okay, let's jump back to the PowerPoint. So I'm just going to show a few more of these looks. Does this come from your collection as well?
Yes.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. Look at that. It's kind of almost Grecian sort of.
Exactly. So that was like a custom piece that I made that kind of draped over the back. I did 2 braids along the underneath section, and then I clipped them into the braid underneath.
Okay. So, you know, I think the thing that is also really interesting is as we look through this, how consistent these looks are, the hair looks with the dress. I mean, they take a certain time frame. There's a strength. There's either a masculinity or a femininity depending on what the dress is doing. And what do you think is the best way for hairdressers to really get that right? What do they study?
I think, first of all, you have to understand your girl. And so what I do on Rooney Mara, I would never do on Reese Witherspoon or on Jennifer Gardner. They're very different women. I would not go that severe with either of them because those are not necessarily the same aesthetic in what they like. And so when you're studying things, study textures.
Yeah.
So look at architecture. Look at the way that, shine reflects off of different things. Look at like wood, the way that it's textured. So like even with this look on Rooney, I wanted it to have an architectural feel. So I followed, the line of the ear from ear to ear, making a very strong parting. Then I did severity right around the front. But then I did a beautiful braid that felt very open and deconstructed and also fluffy. And so I used gel on the front. But then in the back, I used dry shampoo where I opened it up, where I created, a little bit more texture, a little bit more fluff, a little bit more fullness. So it gave you the difference. And when you look at the dress, you really understand why. So you see totally. All of that. You see all of that beautiful draping. It felt a little bit more fluffy, but then everything else felt like it was part of her skin. So I wanted that to kind of reflect around the front.
Yeah. And also, I think the other thing, the other great way to study is just to study decades and centuries as well.
Absolutely, 100%. I think that for me, knowledge is power in life. And when you are knowledgeable about your references, the things that then you can create from there, because listen, we're all pulling from somewhere. Everyone, humanity in general, in all times, all the best artists, all the best architects, all the best painters, all the best hairdressers have all pulled from somewhere, and we're all building blocks on top of one another.
For sure.
So if you don't know your references, where are you truly giving from then?
Right. No, and that's what I think is so important. I remember Garen one time when I was at his place in New York, at his house, and it's just, just rows and rows and rows and rows of art books and designers and history and decades and centuries and, painters, from Florence. So I think it's really, really important to do that.
And I want people to know too, now you don't even have to go and buy art books anymore. You can go to the web. You can go to Pinterest. You can go to my Pinterest. You can go to my Instagram. I make sure that I, do all of that. So people now have the ability to create, I think my computer has, I'm not kidding you, maybe 250,000 images on it that I pull from all the time. For the last 2 weeks, I'm not even kidding you, I have had an IT guy there where I pay a lot of money trying to organize my life because I have so many images on my computer that my computer was working so slow that I had to bring someone to help me.
So my whole team are rolling their eyes because that's my computer.
Yes. And
it's all hair.
You guys know, we're artists.
I know, you're 4:00 in the morning, I get up and I'm looking through pictures and I'm saving everything because I can't help it. That's
and
the
I'm sure
point.
they're not saving it in the right place, which is their nightmare, because then they have to organize it.
Yeah, I should send a picture of my desktop because
me too.
And there's about 50,000 pictures on my desktop. That's why it's not working, by the way. That's what they've shared with me.
Hilarious. It's too funny. It is.
Okay, so let's talk about these looks, and then what I want to talk about, actually, we'll talk about the looks, but mostly tell us about the day. We know that we know you're going to be working with them. The first question, though, that I would ask is, when you have so many celebrities that you're working with, how do you decide? I know you can only work with 2 or 3 a night. How do you decide who you're going to work with?
I have to say, I have been blessed enough. I'm a loyalist, and I've always been a loyalist my whole life. I've been with the same agents for 20 years, so they know me inside out. they understand what it means to help me run my business. And, you know, I'm one of those hairdressers in the industry where I have a lot of clients. So, you know, I have a slew of probably, you know, the top, you know, 20 girls. And so they're all always nominated at the same time or presenting. And so it does get difficult. And I think that my agents end up working with their representations and we end up figuring out what I can do and how I can do. I'll give you an example, like, you know, Jessica Biel for the Golden Globes, you know, really wanted me to be able to do her with Cara, who does makeup. And so she was kind enough to go and get a room in the same place where Saoirse was staying. And so, you know, I was able to be in the same hotel and go from room to room. And so, you know, my girls are always very flexible to work around my schedule as well. And, you know, and that's years of relationships. Like I've been doing Jessica, I would say, since Seventh Heaven. So that you're talking about almost like 18 years of knowing each other.
We were wondering that because you have so many, it's just not knowing exactly who it is that you choose. Tell us about some of the key things, like when you're getting ready to go, how do you prepare for it when you get there? How long does it generally take? What challenges have you experienced along the way?
So it's interesting. Time has definitely shifted the way that I do this job because now we have socialization. Now we have interviews that we have to do. We have basically collaborations. I'm a creative director for a brand. So there's a lot of things that I have to think about, not only while I'm doing the hair, but, you know, I have to collect imagery. I do diaries for Vogue magazine the day of. I end up doing breakdowns for all of the other hairdressers and consumers at home. So I start my day early with a little bit of meditation, and I love my Space Head app that I start my meditation with in the morning. I do like a 10-minute meditation. Then I sit with my entire team of assistants. I have about 3 assistants that come with me that day. And so we lay out absolutely everything that we are going to need. So let's say I need 7 images, 8 images for Vogue. I need some behind the scenes for my Instagram. So one person will be in charge of doing like the stories. One person will be in charge of, you know, making sure to download all the images immediately that I'm collecting. So that's kind of like the start of the day. Now, all of the like imagination comes like the day before that for me, of me pulling a lot of like imagery in my brain of what I'm thinking. And then we all get in the car. I stop at like Earth Cafe or something and I get us all food for the day. So we're all ready to like go, and we have our own food, and it's pure energy rather than sugar.
Yeah.
Because you'll always go to the easy stuff if you don't have stuff with you.
Totally true.
And then I get there and I immediately sit with the makeup, with the stylist, and with my actor. I try to have them throw on the dress before, if possible. It doesn't always happen. Just so I can kind of see proportions, because proportion is very important to hair. You know, if I have more body on the bottom, I may think that I need more body on the top. If this is all very small, all of a sudden the head can get very small. So all of those things, you know, are very, very important. And then I do the girl. I probably takes me a total between beginning to start, maybe an hour, 45 minutes. And you're talking about in that hour, 45 minutes, she has to try on the dress, actually sit down, get her makeup done, do the hair, get her nails done at the same time, have her friends there with her, have like all the kit ready. Sometimes they have their kids in their hand. So you're working around a lot of different elements, and you know, that's just part of it. And then I go on to the next girl, and then I get the next girl ready. And while she's getting dressed, I run back to the other girl doing the finishing touches, send her off, and then go back to the other girl and finish that off.
So when when they're ready to go and they go down to the red carpet, where are you at that time?
Oh, I am working on my how-tos, interviews, packing, going through images, editing, sending to editors. I am not, literally, when I'm telling you I am not finished till around 10 p.m., I'm not done till 10 p.m.
So do you go backstage with them at all before they actually take the stage, or no?
No. So that's why I have to, hair is all about the right foundation when you're doing red carpet. And so when I say the right foundation, it's, starting with the right shampoo and conditioner. That for me is the most important. So if I have the right foundation to start with, that's the most important. So, I give my girls Virtue Labs, I make them wash their hair. Then I do a volumizer all over the roots, no matter even if I'm slicking the hair. I put in a volumizer because that's my memory. It holds the hair in place a little bit more. So I do that. I either put a volumizer, a mousse, a gel, whatever it is to kind of give me the memory. I then do my set. I blow dry, I do whatever I need to do. Then I make sure that I set it properly, whether it's putting it around a curling iron, whether it's blow drying it and putting it around a Velcro, whether it's putting hot rollers. You need to create some kind of texture in the hair for it to have memory. Then you want to spray it and lock it in place with the right hairspray, with the right texturizer, with the right finishing product, whether it's a pomade, whether it's a hairspray, whether it's a texture spray, anything to then lock it into place. And then I send them off. And then I have to do all of my other work behind the scenes that people don't see. So I've really been up from 7 a.m. starting this, and I don't finish until 10 p.m. And then a lot of the time, then I have to go to the parties afterwards to go and do my socialization.
Yeah. Well, and what I was wondering about that is knowing how social media has such a huge impact, especially in hair. I mean, it's changed everything about our business for sure. But
Correct.
Interestingly about that, how does that affect you and the celebrity, knowing that it can make or break? They can, I mean, obviously, we saw the Emma Roberts fringe, which was not cut. It was just a really, the look that was put into the night, and the press didn't like it. So how do you take those risks? And
Yeah, that was the Emma Roberts, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes. I think in general, women taking risks with their hair is celebratory for me.
I agree.
It doesn't matter whether or not there's success or there isn't success. I think it's about the confidence to go and explore outside of yourself. And I think that is so incredibly beautiful. And I applaud the hairdresser and I applaud Emma. It may not have been something that was successful in general, but it doesn't matter because they took the risk. And you know what? Hair is about self-expression. Hair is about exploring different parts of yourself. It's beautiful. How incredible that you can clip something and be something different immediately. That is unbelievable to me, and I love it. So,
and I love that you're saying that too, because we feel exactly the same way about it.
yes.
And I think the scary part is about how we're also afraid to take those risks because of that exact kind of situation happening.
Absolutely. Do not stop taking risks. Punk rock came from risk. Marlena Dietrich came from risk.
Yeah.
Rooney Mara came from risk. All of these people are taking risks and becoming individuals. Please, please, please don't stop taking risks as hairdressers. Please don't stop taking risks as women. You inspire us. That is what makes us into visionaries. That's what takes it to another place.
And you, in this particular look, you wanted Saoirse to go platinum, to go blonde, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So
and I wanted her to feel a little bit more goth. I wanted it to feel a little bit more alien-like. I wanted it to feel a little bit uncomfortable. And guess what? Not everybody is going to like this. This is not a look that is for everybody because she doesn't have the pink lipstick on. She doesn't have the deconstructed waves. This is about making you think whether you like it or making you think whether you don't like it. But for me, it's about opening a conversation that women can be whatever they want to be. An individual can be whatever they want to be. And you can explore outside of that when there is the beautiful balance. So there is a balance between beauty and haunting beauty, severity and some softness. And so it's bringing all of those conversations in together.
Yeah, no, I love that, the haunting beauty part of it as well.
Thank you.
It really is interesting because we had a long conversation about how difficult that is to get a celebrity then to consider something that's different. I mean, do you think as an overall, do you think social has helped, them be more willing to take risks, or has social media, has Instagram helped celebrities be more willing to take risks or less?
I think it's not about that. I think it's about how I approach them as a hairdresser, why they would take that risk.
Yeah, okay.
So I think it is my job as an artist. Like, think about, how do you convince a curator to put on an amazing show at a museum? The artist needs to sit down with that curator and they need to make them see the vision very clearly in their brain before they sit down and produce the work. It's the same. It is my job and my due diligence to sit down and pull a bunch of different ideas for her and present it and make her visualize it, because she's not a hairdresser. She doesn't know what I'm talking about, but I need to make her, in her brain, close her eyes, visualize what I'm thinking, telling her why I'm going in that direction, giving her the opportunity, if it doesn't feel good, the ability to be able to shift into something else. That is my job. So do I think social media has done it? No, I think it is my job to make her push her more. So for me, I can only speak about my clients, how I get them there. And that has to do with me and my relationship and my due diligence of working very hard to actually get there myself and believing it before I can make them believe it.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point. Well, I mean, what kind of advice do you have for, hairdressers that want to get involved in red carpet, that want to get involved working with celebrities? I know that's always the big question that everybody wants to ask. But...
Yeah, I think it's beautiful. I think it's incredible. I think it's about doing a lot. So the way that for me I started getting obsessed with going to the magazine store and sitting in the magazine stores and really studying all the different hairdressers that were doing freelance work and looking at the red carpet and understanding everyone that they're doing and really doing research on how they're pulling their references, and then me starting to go and pull references, and then trying a lot of these things on my friends and trying it on models and then doing photo shoots. So really building a lot of that, and then reaching out to the hairdressers that you want to go and assist, or maybe start with the lower hairdressers, start building up with them, and then reach out to the other hairdresser who maybe is more senior in the business. And then by that point, you have a lot of experience to go and move into there. Then after that, making sure that you are around them, you're very present, you are listening to everything they're saying, you're pulling a lot of those things for yourself, you're pulling a lot of references for you. So it takes building blocks to get there if you want to do it properly. It's not about just wanting to do red carpet. It's about having the passion to be a storyteller with hair and putting a lot of time and energy into that, and then building the blocks to get there.
Yeah. Okay, I think it is really good advice, because I think, the one thing that we've learned every single time we talk to celebrity hairdressers is they're always assisting. They always started by assisting, and it was always when somebody got sick on one particular day, they got that chance to go to the shoot and be able to lead something. And I think it's always interesting to hear that. Obviously, everybody asks, can I do that in Dubuque, Iowa? No, you can't. You really have to go to LA or New York to make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
That, consistently. Tell us what you think is going to happen for the Academy Awards. Where do you think we're going to be going with that?
Well, we have SAGs, first of all. So
Okay.
we have SAGs this weekend.
Okay.
And I'm going to be doing Saoirse and the beautiful Marissa Tomei.
Oh,
And
wow.
and Marissa's presenting, and so it's great. So I'm going to be with Marissa, and with Saoirse, and so I don't know. Like you said, like, do I know what they're wearing yet? No, have no idea. I reached out to their stylist. They're still pulling. They don't know what direction they're going in yet. But I will tell you, because I know the proportions of their face, because I know what I'm thinking maybe could work, I'm starting to pull a lot of references. Then once I see the dress, most of the time what I pulled is wrong.
Oh,
and
no.
then I have to go and do the references all